The streaky San Jose Sharks have had their recent share of ups and downs. In front, and Hudler scores. Tonight, they'll aim for a northern trajectory in a huge matchup with the Vancouver Canucks. From Rogers Arena in downtown Vancouver, it's the Sharks and Canucks. With just 30 games left in their regular season, the Sharks' playoff hopes are on the line. Back-to-back division losses have them desperate for a victory tonight against a team trying to hunt them down. Hi again, everybody. I'm Randy Hunt. Welcome to Sharks Hockey here in Vancouver. The second game of back-to-backs after the Sharks lost in Calgary last night. And as we look at the Pacific Division standings, the Sharks need to pick up points. They are still in the top three in the division, but tonight's opponent, Vancouver, just two back, and the Sharks are falling into that danger zone of teams on the brink of a playoff spot. Jamie Baker is here, and Jamie, in the last 13 games, you talk about the roller coaster of a season. The Sharks have won 2, lost 2, won 2, lost 2, won 3, lost 2. They need to get on a run in a positive way.
Remember playing chutes and ladders as a kid? It's like you climb up the ladder and then you fall back down. You're like, oh, I got to start over. It's like that's what this team has been doing. Red hot. They beat the LA Kings. There's a beautiful goal here from Logan Couture. Their big guys responded. They've got secondary scoring, some great goaltending. They beat Anaheim at home, and then they went for the trifecta, and they beat the Chicago Blackhawks. LA, Anaheim, Chicago in succession. And then things turn the other way, and the Edmonton Oilers come in. The Sharks had already lost a game to Edmonton. See a nice goal there from Eberle. And last night, of course, the Sharks in a very good hockey game, and some credit to the Calgary Flames, but they won that game in regulation. And San Jose needs to garner more scoring chances and turn this trend around, if you will.
Here in Vancouver, as we saw, the Canucks are in the hunt. It's also been a year of a lot of transition here. New GM, new coach, but nothing new about the Twins, leading them in scoring 1 and 2 respectively.
Yeah, I mean, when these guys are on the ice, they have their own type of magic, if you will, the sixth sense, and the Sharks are going to have to keep an eye on them. I'm sure Vlasic and Burns will be out there as much as they can against the Sedins. You got to keep an eye on other guys, but first and foremost, you have to shut down the Sedins.
Well, speaking of top scorers, Logan Couture is on pace for a career offensive year for the Sharks. When we come back, Jamie visits with number 39.
Sharks Hockey on Comcast Sportsnet California is brought to you by Jeep Cherokee. Built free. Visit Jeep.com or your local dealer to begin your adventure today. And by Toyota, #1 in MPG, durability and resale value. Toyota, let's go places. And by Xfinity, home of the most live sports.
Back in Vancouver, Sharks and Canucks coming up. Logan Couture set to go. Visited with Jamie Baker moments ago.
Since January 1st, kind of win a couple, lose a couple. Can you explain the ups and downs of this team?
I think that's been the whole season for us. Inconsistency. Tonight we're going to have a pretty young lineup out there, so it's a big game for us. We need this win.
How do you feel about your game right now?
It's been okay. We'd like to see more offense from our line, Patty, myself, Needsy, so hopefully tonight we can turn it around.
Key against beating the Vancouver Canucks here?
Shoot the puck in front of Miller. He's the top goalie in this league, so if he's easy, he's going to stop it. The last couple of games we played him, he's been the first star, so we got to change that.
Good luck tonight.
Thanks, bud.
The Sharks have lost 2 tight, hard-fought games to the Canucks so far this season. It's their first trip here to British Columbia so far this year. We'll be back with the opening face-off from Vancouver. Here's tonight's starting Honda goaltenders for the San Jose Sharks. Antiniemi had the last night off with Alex Stalock between the pipes. He has won 3 of his last 4 starts for San Jose. And the veteran Ryan Miller in his first year as a Canuck. And what a career record he has against the Sharks. 9-1-1, a .937 save percentage. for Miller as Todd McClellan and the Sharks try and get things turned around. Back-to-back losses, one of them in a shootout to Edmonton, so at least they got a point in that one. But the regulation loss against another division foe last night in Calgary as the Sharks fell 3-1 to the Flames. There's Willie Desjardins in his first year as head coach of the Canucks, but he is no stranger to the pro ranks. Won the Calder Cup last year in Texas as part of the Dallas Stars organization. He is the new head coach of these Vancouver Canucks and has them in the thick of the playoff race, as you saw. They're in a wild card spot right now with 59 points, 2 back of the Sharks. And this shapes up, Jamie, to be a great game because of that, but a great race down the stretch here in the last 25-30 games for everybody.
Yeah, not to mention the Sharks losing to Calgary last night. They've lost 2 games to Vancouver. They're fighting for playoff positioning. This should be a real good game tonight.
Sharks will, as Logan Couture said in our pregame, have a very young lineup tonight. Chris Tierney played last night. He's 20, up from Worcester. Mirko Mueller comes back in tonight. He's 19. And Daniil Tarasov will make his NHL debut tonight. He is just 23 years of age, and that's a lot of youth into the lineup, Jamie.
Yeah, congratulations to Tarasov, his first NHL game. A day and a night he'll remember the rest of his life.
We'll see how these young players fare today under live ammo here against these Canucks, who are coming off a win. A chance at the front of the Vancouver net as it's tipped by Marleau, and Miller on top of that, and a quality scoring chance there.
Face-offs are going to be important tonight, winning those first battle. Logan Couture said, I asked him in the pregame what he thought about his game. He goes, it's okay. I think we should try and get on the board a little bit more. Marleau doing a good job going to the front of the net.
And off this face-off, it's controlled by the Canucks as Dan Hamhuis gets it around, but Vlasic holds it in the zone. Bouncing behind the Canuck net. Now Dan Hamhuis playing it up this side of the boards, and it's chipped to center. Here come the Canucks. It is Derek Dorsett, rather, trying to clear it across to a teammate, intercepted by Logan Couture. He hands it off to Matt Nieto as you look at the Canuck lineup tonight. Here's Marleau playing in his 1300th NHL game. To Nieto, back for Marleau. Looks to the point. Vlasic active, gets into a shooting lane, lets it go. Rebound for Couture, and Miller made 2 splendid saves off Logan Couture.
Well, good zone entry, strong side support by the Sharks leads to not 1 but 2 good scoring chances. And Miller's heroics begin early here in the first for Vancouver.
But you have to like the way the Sharks have started coming out here the first couple of shifts. Now Sean Matthias for Vancouver. He's checked by Brendan Dillon, the native of nearby New Westminster, a suburb of the greater Vancouver area here. Dillon working against Matthias. He'll hand it off. Now dropped back by Bonino to Verbata. And the Sharks have it again. Barclay Goodrow chipping it in and around Stanton, the defenseman. Goodrow trying to get it to the net. And the Canucks clear it. Up the near side, some open ice, but Matthias couldn't control. And Mirko Mueller with it now. Mueller went to the World Juniors in Switzerland. This is his first game since before he left, as Miller freezes it here. He hasn't played an NHL game since December 11th.
Some good zone entry by the Sharks. Strong side support. You can see the guys over there overloading the one side. And that allows them to get possession in the offensive zone. And from there, it's all about attacking the net. Good movement here from the Sharks. That's Logan Couture in front of the net. And there's what a save there by Miller.
Both these teams got a favor handed to them by an Eastern Conference opponent tonight as Miller makes a shot from the sharp angle. Florida knocked off the LA Kings tonight 3-2. Everybody's starting to scoreboard watch a little. I know it's only February, but early April will be here awfully quickly for a hockey team. Trade deadline coming up on March 2nd, and then you're in the push to the playoffs. Lucas Pisa, he had the game winner here against Winnipeg on Tuesday night in a 3-2 Canuck win over the Jets. Chris Higgins shot blocked by Matt Tennyson. Higgins trying to jam it loose and get it to Yannick Hansen. Joe Thornton sends it back, and now Brent Burns with a little time.
Shots right now 6-0 in favor of the Sharks. So if there's any question, they might come out a little tight from last night. They didn't have a morning skate today.
Now let's forward shot deflects high. And now Hamhuis scampering back under pressure from Melker Karlsson. Here's Daniel Sedin over to brother Henrik, the captain of the Canucks. Back across, and a pass in front for Burrows, and he got a piece of it, couldn't steer it on net. Nice passing play by the Twins there to set up their winger, Burrows. Now a jam play at the net by Yannick Weber, who draws into the lineup tonight due to an injury, and it's saved by Niemi as we look at our Lexus keys to the game.
Initiate means get on your toes. Be physical. Get pucks deep. Make the other team work. Initiate the play. Be the aggressive team tonight. Impact. You know, it's one thing to work hard in a game, but in the NHL, if you're going to play in the NHL, you have to do more than that. You have to leave your mark on the game. Todd McClellan talked about that yesterday, and I thought the Sharks worked hard last night in Calgary, but I didn't see enough guys leave an impact on the game. That's what we're looking for here tonight.
The hits category statistic is somewhat dubious depending on where you go to rink. It's a little hard to consistently rely on it, but there's much disparity as there was last night. There's got to be something to it. Calgary out-hit the Sharks last night 22-9, and that speaks to leaving your imprint on the game, as you just talked about.
It could be a block shot, draw a penalty. Of course, it'd be great if it was a goal. It could be a fight. It could be physical play that, wears down teams.
Shepard steering it around to this side of the ice for Barclay Goodrow. We're live in the first period here in Vancouver. Sharks' first trip here. And as fate would have it, both times they come here, it is on the second game of back-to-backs. As Miller gets in front of a tip shot, Merkel Mueller got a piece of that as it came from the point. But Ryan Miller's been solid here in the first period for the Canucks.
He's been keeping this Canucks team in it. There's San Jose getting in on the forecheck. Miller throws the puck around the boards. Sharks read it and get pucks to the net very quickly. No rebound for Miller. Canucks saved his own bacon there.
Sorry. Canucks also catch a break. This is the second straight home game where they play a team that played on the road the night before. Winnipeg had been on the second game of back-to-backs when they came here on Tuesday. We're going to look into this, Jamie. Doesn't sound fair. Supposed to even out.
Does it, though? Does it even out?
Marleau fakes the shot, tries to slip it through Edler. Now Nieto gets it back, and Matt Tennyson from the point. Marleau can't catch it. He was tied up by Weber. Couture dumps it out to Matt Irwin, and that one skipped just wide. Miller lost sight of it. Couture, hard stick check from Edler, but he gets it over to Irwin, whose shot is blocked by Mathias, who gets it out. As we mentioned, the Canucks will host Sharks one more time here, but that'll be in March. Sharks will have played the night before at home against Montreal, then fly to Vancouver, and then back-to-back here again. So both times in this building, second game of back-to-backs.
Now March 3 in Vancouver, March 7 in San Jose. The remaining two games between these Pacific Division rivals.
Pavelski a steal in the neutral zone. They have to wait for Carlson to get back on side as Vlasic slaps it in. Here's Melker Karlsson. Leaves it for Thornton. Nice idea. Thornton to the slot. It pinballs around, and Pavelski gets a whack at it. Miller stopped that. A backdoor pass by Karlsson blocked. And now Pavelski looking for it. Karlsson wheels it back up top to Vlasic. Shot pass to Thornton, and it's saved by Miller.
It was an alert save by Miller. Good lateral movement. He got over there and read that play.
Now the Canucks attack. Burrows to Daniel Sedin. And his shot gobbled up by Niemi.
Well, Sharks have had all the scoring chances so far. They've come out with a vengeance. This Canucks team has struggled lately. They played better last game against Winnipeg, but they've been hot and cold in the last 10-15 games, and there's a good look from Joe Thornton. He's got his head up, tries to go short side. Miller's right there. See how fast Miller gets across. And in some cases, you have to almost shoot to try and create a rebound. That was the right idea from Thornton, trying to go short side top corner.
Thornton had his 6-game scoring streak ended last night in Calgary. He came up empty over the 6 games, 2 goals, 10 points. John Scott got the Sharks' only goal last night. They later made a scoring change. Initially, Chris Tierney was given an assist on the goal, but they took it away from him and instead gave it to Scott Hannon. Tyler Kennedy, who's not in the lineup tonight for the Sharks, got the other assist on that Scott goal, who now has 2, John Scott. Dillon, a wrister, rebound, and he stops Desjardins. Tierney into the crease, and we've got a penalty.
Well, we're going to get an interference penalty, but man, oh man, some more good scoring chances here from the San Jose Sharks.
Vancouver penalty number 18, 2 minutes interference.
And the Sharks' fourth line. Nice little play by Tarasov into the neutral zone. You can see the stop up, and that's the interference penalty. Dillon gets the shot on net. There's the rebound. And a good opportunity for Desjardins. And there was another opportunity that just got cleared by the defenseman for the Vancouver Canucks. Right there. Both Dylan and Desjardins were right there. Couldn't get the handle on it. Stanton into the box. Sharks' first power play of the night. They'll try and be a little crisper tonight on the power play than they were last night.
Interference to call at the 6-minute mark to Stanton of the Vancouver Canucks, and now Brent Burns gets it going off the face-off win. Thornton across for Couture, can't catch it, chases it back to the point. Burns loads up, pass instead for Marleau. Pavelski releases from the front to keep this alive. Couture, Pavelski, Thornton in the slot, knocked down, puck stays in. And now Couture fires, and that one hit Marleau, who was trying to play bad goalie in front of Miller.
Well, in the 2 games they've played, San Jose outshot in the first game back on November 6th. Sharks outshot the Canucks 36-19. December 30th, outshot them 32-21. They've only scored 3 goals. Miller's been fantastic, and he's off to a roaring start here tonight.
Couture's rink-wide pass broken up, and Burns has to chase back into his own end for the Sharks. First unit still on the power play, but they've been on for almost a minute now as Pavelski comes down the wing. Stick check there by the Canucks' Dan Hamhuis, and they'll get it clear. Burns, watched by Hansen, dumped it to the boards. Here's a chance, and a save by Niemi off Chris Higgins.
That was only the 3rd shot for Vancouver. That's their best scoring chance after an errant pass by Burns in the defensive zone.
Sharks have 4 shorthanded goals this year. That was a great opportunity there. Power play for the Sharks down to 35 seconds now. As Hurdle's up front with Carlson and Nieto. And it's Matt Nieto across center into the Vancouver zone. Hurdle drops it for Vlasic. He'll load up, shoot, blocked in front. Hurdle gets to it, wants Nieto behind the net. Canucks clear it again. And that is going to take us down to a dozen seconds left on this San Jose power play. They continue to keep the pressure on, and they had that early excellent scoring chance. Now Vlasic for Tennyson. He'll fire it in as Stanton gets set to jump back on the ice, and the Canucks have a penalty kill to start off things here on the first special teams situation. Sharks out shooting Vancouver 12-3 early. Third meeting this season between these teams. Last tour in San Jose, last one was right near the end of the year, December 30th, and the Canucks' Ryan Miller had another strong outing, and the Vancouver Canucks came in and beat the Sharks by a final score of 3-1. Miller has been terrific against the Sharks this year and through his entire career. A couple of shutouts to go along with that amazing record. Of course, all but 2 of those wins coming from Buffalo.
It's just the curse of Buffalo that's kind of moved across the coast. It's gone a little north and
way west.
Yeah.
Less snow here too. Dylan, and that's caught by Miller. He's going to hang on, so there'll be a face-off now in the Canuck zone.
I don't think the fans here in Vancouver realize the curse of Buffalo that the San Jose Sharks have had to deal with over the years. But they get to see it firsthand here tonight.
Some teal sprinkled into the crowd here at Rogers Arena on this Thursday night in Vancouver. Conclusion of a 2-game and 2-night road trip for the Sharks, and they'll be back home to start 3 straight at SAP Center on Saturday night against Carolina.
Carolina, Calgary, Washington heading to town over the next week.
The Alex Ovechkin next Wednesday for the one and only time at SAP Center this season. Here's Edler for Vancouver. Canucks, they've had a topsy-turvy season as well. They're 5-5 over their last 10 games. We talked about the Sharks and their kind of roller coaster ride, at least since the beginning of the new year. And it's been that way for Vancouver, too.
I'd have to say the Canucks are dealing with kind of the same inconsistency. Here you can see San Jose. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 guys that are back near the blue line for the San Jose Sharks. So they're going to take away the speed and space of the Vancouver Canucks in the neutral zone. They were in a, that wasn't even a 1-2-2. That was like a 1-4, stacking it up on the blue line.
Here's Tarasov now in his National Hockey League debut. The native of Moscow, Russia. Up from Worcester in the American League. He's been around the team for a few games now, getting his first shot at the show here in Vancouver.
This is Mueller's 25th game, by the way. He's It's been a while, back December since he's played. But
Stanton with a shot kicked out by Niemi. Confidence there with the right pad for Antti Niemi, who last appeared Monday in the shootout loss to Edmonton when he made 36 saves. And then in the shootout made 11 more.
good job there by Burns boxing out Hansen down low, allowing his partner Vlasic to get to the loose puck. He didn't even play the puck behind the net, Burns. He just played the man.
Cam Hughes taking his time as Marleau was deep in the zone with Nieto and Couture. And the stretch pass up for Matthias. He tried to tap it through the middle. Now Nick Bonino battling Vlasic, and Marleau sends it ahead for Nieto. Good jump on the puck by Hughes, and he's able to get it going the other way.
This Vancouver team, we're talking about that last game against Winnipeg, saying it might have been the most physical games of the year.
Couture now one man back Hughes. Logan to the inside. Backhand shot saved by Miller. Nice move by Couture to cut inside to the slot. Now he's got it again on his forehand, and he goes up top. Too high, out of play. 9:40 left here in the first period. We are scoreless. Time for Geico. This date in hockey history, February 5th of 1980. On that night, over 21,000 fans were on hand to see Gordie Howe's return to Detroit as he appeared in his 23rd and last NHL All-Star game. He had an assist in the game, and those 23 All-Star appearances are the most in history. Ray Bourque next with 19, and there's a young man who's appearing in his first National Hockey League game on this February 5th of 2015. Those are his numbers at Worcester so far this season for 23-year-old Daniil Tarasov, signed by the Sharks as a free agent back in April of 2013. Played for Moscow Dynamo's second team as a 17-year-old back in Russia, and that's where he first made his big impression in hockey, but was never drafted. Decided to go the USHL route in North America, and the Sharks offered him an American League contract. Also spent some time with the San Francisco Bulls when they were in business.
Love the story. Love guys that, you know, work their way up the ranks. He's played in the East Coast League, the American Hockey League. Got good hands, good hockey sense. Adapting to the smaller rink and the physical play over here in North America.
In fact, he played in the USHL in Waterloo, Iowa, where Todd McClellan's son Tyson plays.
He's playing there right now.
Melker Karlsson at center for the Sharks in this scoreless first period here in Vancouver. Glad you're along on Comcast Sportsnet California. Game number 53 of the season for the Sharks as things get interesting now with the playoff race starting to take shape in the West. In the East, not nearly as much drama. It's more about positioning at this point, unless somebody busts out of the pack of teams that aren't in the race.
Well, you tie in the fact you just said the Sharks' 53rd game. They're only 2 points ahead of the Canucks. Vancouver has 3 games in hand. A little more pressure, if you will, to try and win this game here tonight in Vancouver.
Karlsson to the far side. Adam Clendenning, number 44. First time we've seen Clendenning in a Canuck uniform. Coming over in a recent trade from Chicago. Spent most of his time in Rockford in the American League, but getting NHL time here with his new club.
Well, you look at the game last night. I mean, Edmonton's got young players from a few nights ago. The game last night, Calgary, they've retooled with a bunch of young players. Vancouver's also in a kind of rebuild on the go mode, transitioning after the Tortorella era last year was a one and done. The Sharks also putting in a bunch of young guys. We're seeing it throughout the league.
It is morphing into very much a young players league.
Well, it's because of the speed. It's such a fast league now. The cap also gives opportunities for young guys. I think we're seeing younger players also, you know, arrive and play well at the NHL level. Just the training that they've done probably when they're 14, 15 years old and on.
That's an icing call against the Canucks. Want to remind you that the Sharks have the outdoor game coming up against the Kings on February 21st, and you can get access to that game by placing a $300 deposit on season tickets, or just put $100 down on a 10-game Shark pack for next year. You'll get your shot at tickets for the Stadium Series game on the 21st at Levi Stadium, but act now. Go to sjsharks.com/deposits. face-off, and it's tapped back by the Canucks centerman to Miller. And Ryan Miller having a strong first period. He's made 12 saves. Canucks have been held to just 5 shots down at the other end.
Their best chance being a short-handed.
Brendan Dillon sends it ahead from beyond center. Miller can't get it past Couture. It hit Logan in the shoulder. Then he tried to find it after he felt it come off of his pad. Back to the point, and Mirko Mueller will chase it back. Mueller spent some time in Worcester, too, as part of his return to conditioning after an injury suffered at the World Junior Championship. So he's been in Worcester recently as well. As we said, as far as NHL games that the Sharks have played since his return, he's not been in the lineup for the last 8 straight.
Vancouver team, I thought both games in San Jose, they tried to slow the tempo of the game down and take away the speed of the San Jose Sharks in the neutral zone. We'll keep an eye on that in the first period. They're relying on Ryan Miller. They really track the 3 stars up here at all the Canadian venues. And he was the 3-star player of the month in October, November, December, and January for this hockey team. So that alone just tells you the importance that Ryan Miller has been to the Vancouver Canucks this year.
When's the last time they didn't have some sort of a goalie controversy here? There's none now. He's clearly the #1 man ahead of Eddie Lack. And before that, it was Luongo or Schneider or Luongo and whatever else. Now those guys are both gone, and Ryan Miller is getting it done here for the Canucks. He's had a huge hand in allowing them to be in the race here at this point in the season. Matt Tennyson, and he was looking for a tip there from Carlson, as Matt Irwin, a BC native from Brentwood Bay across the pond on Vancouver Island. Tennyson, another shot saved by Miller. Thornton unable to control the rebound as it bounced over his stick.
It was right there for him, too. Pass open to Carlson was open on the far side of the net.
Here's Ronald Kennens for the Canucks. First time we've seen him, number 41 from Riga, Latvia.
Yep.
Hometown of former Shark goaltending great Archer Zerbe.
This is his 4th game. He's got 2 goals in his first 3 games. Zach Kassian has been the odd man out, and he's not too happy about being a healthy scratch again.
And Miller will catch and hold this. Don't want to miss out on this event that the Sharks Foundation is putting on. It is Sampling with the Sharks, presented by Citrix wine event, coming up on Thursday, March 5th. It's a great chance to interact with your favorite players and coaches and enjoy fabulous wine from across Napa Valley and make a difference for the Sharks Foundation. They will have bidding on one-of-a-kind items, experiences with the Sharks. Registration closes February 19th, so register today at sharksfoundation.org. Looking forward to sampling with the Sharks, aren't we?
Cool automobiles.
Yeah.
Tasty, delicious wine.
It's at Club Auto Sport.
And you get to mingle with a bunch of the San Jose Sharks. It's a perfect evening.
Become one of the more popular events of the years for fans and players alike. The broadcasters are fond of it as well. Nieto against Lucas Spisa in the Vancouver zone here. And Spisa ends up on top of Nieto. Puck ends up on the stick. Burrows to Dan Hamhuis. Canucks top line on the ice as Niemi steers it away from Daniel Sedin, 22. Brother Henry out there as well, number 33, working the boards against Marleau. And it's out to the point. Clendenning leans back. A wrist shot blocked by Couture. Head up, looking for a teammate. Vlasic in the area, and he comes across, and he'll get it deep.
A little bit of pushing and shoving as both teams change.
We can't have that pushing and shoving. could lead to hard pushing and hard shoving, yeah. and hitting and everything. Goodrow for the Sharks. Stanton jams the stick in there. Shepard now, and that came up and hit Barclay Goodrow in the face.
Right in the face.
And he'll need to head to the Sharks bench, hopefully for minor repairs. We'll be back. Time for our McDonald's True Stories, and we mentioned it earlier. Patrick Marleau playing in his 1,300th NHL game tonight, the 56th player in the history of the league to reach that milestone, and he is the youngest to reach 1,300 games, 35 years of age and 143 days today. And yes, we are counting. Only the 10th to do it with one franchise, as Patrick has played every game in his career as a Shark, never spent a day in the minor leagues. There's the young Patrick Marleau, assistant coach Paul Baxter back in the day. And what a career it's been for Patrick Marleau.
Well, and it's a real tribute to how hard he trains and takes care of himself off the ice. So to all the, you know, the different strength and conditioning trainers he's had, Mike Batenda, the one now, but this guy's in the gym all the time in the summer. He takes care of himself nutrition-wise, and because of that, he plays full seasons, and he's the fastest player in NHL history, youngest player to get 1,300 games. That's amazing.
967 points for Marleau right now in his 17th season in the NHL. And you factor in, he lost a season and a half due to a full season lockout in 04 and then another half season lockout after that. Yet he's reached that milestone. And with 447 goals and counting, you got to think Marleau's going to have 500 in his career. He's still youthful in his physical stature. It's going to be awfully hard to keep him out of the Hockey Hall of Fame.
I asked him a couple of days ago after he played 23 minutes against Chicago how he felt. He goes, I felt fine. He actually says he feels almost better when he's playing around the 20 to 21 minute mark. Just more into the game.
Congratulations to Patrick Marleau for quite a milestone. Radim Vrbata with a tough shot. Niemi handled it, though. Knocked it down and covers it up. And there's the list of individuals playing 1,300 games with one franchise, and that is quite an illustrious list.
Oof. 4 of them there from the Detroit Red Wings. Got some original 6. Shane Doan still playing. Yeah, that's quite a list right there. Congratulations, Patty.
He's had a long and fruitful career. Still going strong. Patrick Marleau. And the Sharks trying to get started here on the right foot in Vancouver in the scoreless first period. We're down to under 4 minutes. Canucks on the attack here as Matt Irwin works Nick Bonino down low. And that's poked out to Niemi, and he is going to be careful and cover this up for a draw in San Jose territory. Sharks are out shooting the Canucks 2-1 right now, 14-7.
Yeah, they're doing a good job in the defensive zone, keeping Vancouver from getting their offensive zone cycle and then trying to lure the Sharks down low and then go from low to high and getting point shots. San Jose doing a good job in the defensive zone. Really, Niemi's only been tested once this game. That was the shorthanded opportunity for the Vancouver Canucks. As I said, Vancouver's, you know, there's lots of press here. And Henrik Sedin was talking about it. When the team starts to struggle, he's concerned about some of the young guys starting to squeeze their sticks a little tighter because there's so much media pressure in any of the cities in Canada. They've been playing okay recently. A little better last game against Winnipeg.
Andrew Desjardins not in the lineup last night in Calgary. Back in there on this line with Tierney and Tarasov tonight for the Sharks. Now in transition, it's Bo Horvat, and the hip check by Burns slows him down. Flicked out by Tierney and knocked down by Ham Hughes at center. Now on the re-entry, Derek Dorsett, and a wrist shot saved by Niemi. As Dorsett and Desjardins shove a little bit after the whistle.
Dorsett leads the Canucks in hits with 101. Averages a little over 11 minutes a game. Andrew Desjardins back in the lineup tonight.
While we are congratulating milestones, let's send out congratulations to Worcester Sharks head coach Roy Sommer, who last night won his 600th American Hockey League game as coach of the Worcester Sharks.
Oh, that's awesome. Way to go, Roy.
4-3 over Lehigh Valley. The 3rd coach in AHL history to win 600 games.
Boy, they've been playing good down there in Worcester.
Former Sharks assistant coach. Congratulations, Roy. Strong Bay Area ties.
Yep. We'll get to see a lot more of the Worcester Sharks next year. They come to San Jose with 5 teams in California. Vancouver's actually one of the teams. They're not moving their AHL affiliate to California next year. Calgary, Edmonton are. The two SoCal teams and the Sharks.
Here's Burrows. Wants Daniel Sedin behind the net and has him. Off his stick, though, and now Marleau trying to poke it out for a rush. Canucks handle it nicely in the neutral zone. Now Henrik drops for Daniel. Daniel to the net. He had Burrows on the tip, but Nieto stayed with Alex Burrows. Help prevent a more dangerous opportunity. Couture takes the hit to make that play as he was drilled by Daniel. And now Marleau off his skate, and he gives it to the speedy Matt Nieto. Nieto slides it in through the D and cuts in between defenders to get to it behind the net. For Couture. Bumps it up to the point. Tennyson there, and he whips one wide. Matt Irwin on the move. Shoots and scores! Matt Irwin, the BC boy, makes it 1-0 Sharks.
Matt Irwin, the BC boy who now has points in 3 straight games. 2 goals and 1 assist, just fires a rocket. And it just comes over to the far side. I'm not sure if Miller sees this or not. That's just not the greatest angle. There's the puck coming around the boards. And Irwin gets it. He's right at the hash mark. Far side, top corner. There's a real good look right there. And I don't think Miller saw it. I think it was one of his own defensemen that was screening him. And Ryan Miller down a little early there, but that was an absolutely perfectly placed shot. Just like that, the Sharks are up 1-0.
Now, you know, Matt Irwin bought some tickets for this game. Some people came across on the ferry, no doubt, from Vancouver Island to watch the game tonight, and just look for a row of people up screaming, because that'll be Matt Irwin's friends and family as he scores his 4th goal of the season. 17:43 time of the goal, and the Sharks get a big first goal from their defense and take a 1-0 lead here with 2:05 left now in the first. And Irwin again with it to Tomas Hertl, and he'll get it deep into Vancouver territory. Tarasov with Shepard, and a shot blocked in front of Miller. A seeing eye shot by Irwin. Beats Ryan Miller. Now Irwin back across into the corner, trying to shovel it up the boards. Lyndon Vay there for the Canucks, but the Sharks work it out. Hertl, end of his shift, he'll just get it deep and change up. Sharks score on their 16th shot of this first period. Pavelski now. Nice move to get it away from Radim Vrbata. Thornton chasing it down. It's Carlson. Back to Thornton, working off the half boards. And across to Vlasic. He'll get it to the wing. Burns there, back for Thornton. Kind of a cycle up high, and that pass for Vlasic just a little off the mark by Thornton.
Good movement in the offensive zone.
Pavelski, a hard pass, wanted Burns, as we're down under a minute in the period. This is Vlasic. And that's into traffic, knocked down by Bonino. Up for Vrbata, he's got Matthias with him. Matthias checked by Burns, who moves the puck up and out.
Good shift there by Brent Burns. He had a lot of movement in the offensive zone, and Vancouver was struggling to keep an eye on him. And then that was a nice battle win down low on Matthias and getting the puck out.
Now Nieto and Couture gloved ahead by Weber. And Weber back defensively for Vancouver now, as we're down to the final shift of the period. Yannick Weber will send it ahead, but right to Mirko Mueller. Brendan Dillon back to his young 19-year-old defense partner tonight, Mueller. Todd McClellan did change the D pairs up a little bit. And we've got an offside whistle here with just under 2 seconds left in this first period, but so far so good for the Sharks in this first 20 minutes.
Yeah, I really like the way that they came out. You're never sure. Back-to-back games. It was an 8 o'clock start last night. They traveled. Got to the hotel a little after 1 o'clock in the morning. And then a 7 p.m. game tonight. Guys don't have a morning skate, but they've responded really well here in the first period.
Tennyson and Couture got the assists on the only goal, coming late here in this first period on a blast, a Brentwood Bay blast from Matt Irwin. And that is the end of the first period here in Vancouver. It's the Sharks 1 and the Canucks nothing. When we come back, we'll check in with Brody and Curtis back in the studio. And then Jamie Baker is back to talk to, you guessed it, Matt Irwin. The The Orchard Supply Hardware Family Pack is back. 4 tickets, 4 hot dogs, 4 bags of chips, and 4 Pepsis. Save up to 33%. Next Family Pack game this Saturday against Carolina. Go to sjsharks.com/family pack. Well, Logan Couture with an assist in that first period. He's on a career points pace this season for the San Jose Sharks. Logan right now with 44 points on the season, Jamie.
He played phenomenal in this first period. Did it in all 3 zones, blocking shots, showing off some of his skill, quick hands right there, winning battles. And Logan Couture, you know, he said before there he is blocking a shot, taking hits to make plays. That was a nice break hit there. There he is battling. I think he's been playing phenomenal lately. He says, I'm playing okay. He's being humble. And there's some of his numbers right there against the Vancouver Canucks. Strong first period for Logan Couture and his entire line.
Matt Irwin, who said to you in his interview with us in the first intermission, he had, 26 people come over on the ferry. It's about a 90-minute ride from Victoria to the Vancouver area, all here for the game tonight. And they probably ought to be able to hustle out of here and make that last ferry home before the end of the night. Of course, the Sharks are not lingering here after the game for visitation or anything. They'll be right back on a plane headed back to San Jose tonight and then get ready for Carolina at SAP Center on Saturday night. Second period underway here. Sharks with the 1-0 lead on the Irwin goal. And Joe Pavelski sending it back into the Vancouver zone. Alex Edler has it intercepted at center by Brent Burns, and now Melker Karlsson will go after Yannick Weber in the corner. He beats him to the puck. Pavelski working against Henrik, and Edler will scoop it to the left wing. Daniel sending it down there for Burroughs, who wraps up Vlasic. Now the Canucks with something going. Henrik to Spiesa, and he fumbled it at the blue line.
He hit that. It was almost like he was trying to turn his hips and get ready for the D-to-D pass.
Vancouver's been a great road team this year. 15 road wins. That's tied for the best in the NHL. But here at home, they have been average at best. 13-10-1. High shot there thanks to a deflection by Dillon. And it goes out of play from Kennons.
Yeah, second best road record as far as points for any teams that have played 25 road games. And they have struggled at home. Then coming into tonight, in the last 5 games against Western Conference teams at home, they're not a very good 1-4. So they've struggled at home against Western Conference teams, so of course they're fighting for a playoff spot.
Penalty coming up here to Andrew Desjardins. And they're going to get in for boarding there.
Things that make me go,
Yeah. So Desjardins in the penalty box. Vancouver on the power play for the first time tonight. Canucks are ranked 16th in the league, middle of the pack. They have just 2 goals at home on the power play in their last 7 games. 2 for 29. Clendenning. And now Hamhuis nowhere to shoot it. Hands it back off to his right. For Bonino, past him to Higgins behind the Sharks net. Lyndon Bay in there to support, but Brent Burns gets it and clears it.
part of the reason they don't have that big shot from the point. Alex Edler is usually the mainstay on the top power play unit, but he's only got 2 power play points in the last 6 weeks. So got the rookie Clendenning out there with Hamhuis.
Lyndon Bay, the former LA King, trying to get through the defense. And now it's back up top. Hamhuis. Bay at the side, checked by Burns. Behind the net for Higgins. He reacted late. Clendenning to Bonino. Nick Bonino is shot, and Niemi the stick save.
Good save by Niemi. Alert save by Niemi.
And now Nieto is going to chase this, but Miller will have plenty of time to handle it. He gives it away, though, on the boards to Melker Karlsson. And good time wasting here by Karlsson on the penalty kill with Barclay Goodrow, who I'm sure got some repairs in the intermission after that puck hit him up under what looked like underneath his left eye.
Yeah, exactly.
Henrik gets it back from Daniel, but he can't get past Dillon cleanly. And the Sharks with a very good penalty kill so far, down to 25 on the minor to Desjardins. And Verbata sending it across as the Canucks attack again here on the tail end of this man advantage. 10 seconds to go. Henrik down into the corner. Dillon there. Strong play to get it up the boards. Marleau a strong play to get it away from Edler. And now Marleau catching up to it, trying to get it across for Couture. But Verbata is able to wrestle it back for the Canucks. And now they come ahead. Back to 5-on-5 with Desjardins out of the box. A slap shot high by Daniel. Here's Tennyson. Desjardins a shot and Miller the save.
Very effective penalty kill for the San Jose Sharks.
Held the Canucks to just one shot. Still a 1-0 San Jose lead on the first period goal by Irwin. Scooped ahead, but Irwin's there to keep it alive and get it to Joe Thornton. And back to Irwin, but out of the zone. Stretch pass, and onside is Carlson. Fires Miller, turns it aside. Pavelski tried to settle it, couldn't, and Dorsett sends it to this side, but Vlasic's right on it. Marc-Edouard Vlasic in a blocker stop. Thornton. It's cleared from him by Stanton, but right up the middle. Pavelski chasing it down, keeps it in, gives to Vlasic. He'll wrist it across. Thornton waiting. Pavelski waiting, and it was tipped away from his shooting lane by Horvat, who transitions back the other way.
That was a great defensive play by Horvat. Collapsing to the mid-slot area, stick on ice. Otherwise, Pavelski had an opportunity for a one-timer after what looked to be a perfect pass from Joe Thornton.
Now Burns the hard feed for Pavelski, blocked. And Alex Edler will send it off the glass, but out of play into the screen.
Well, Merkel Mueller, first game back since early December, very effective on the penalty kill. This is the Vancouver player that has the puck. That's Mueller right there. We'll keep an eye on Mueller. He anticipates the play, establishes body position, gets his stick, and just does a good job of taking away the pass. The Sharks end up breaking up the play and breaking out. So alert play from an anticipation standpoint, body position, and stick position by the young Merkel Mueller.
And here is Mueller. Scott Hannon getting the night off on defense for the Sharks. John Scott and Tyler Kennedy also on the trip, not dressed tonight. In fact, the Sharks have some of their injured reserve players on the trip as well. Tommy Wingles along.
Getting closer to a return.
Mike Brown, Justin Braun, and Ty McGinn also on IR. And the tip, and Niemi with a great save off Nick Bonino. That's his best stop of the game so far.
Bonino only one goal in his last 6 games. And he finds a spot right down. There's number 13, Bonino. You can see him, and he kind of gets out in front, and that's a set play. That puck is going to go about 4 to 5 feet wide. Hamhuis. Boy, that reminds me of Nicholas Lidstrom and Tomas Holmstrom. That's where Lindstrom just put it there, and Holmstrom had that uncanny ability to redirect it home.
And that's our save of the game, brought to you by RGP Consulting from the inside out. And that was an inside-out kind of tip by Nick Bonino, the former Shark draft pick, who's now a Canuck, coming over in the trade for Ryan Kessler over the summer.
Spiza. That was a double pad stack save there by Niemi.
Marleau to Irwin, and his shot tipped by Couture just wide. Nieto quick to it behind the net. Now Marleau on the wing, fires, and it'll rim all the way wide to Irwin. Back to Nieto. He's checked by Weber. Keeps his feet moving, keeps the puck moving too. Tried to hand off for Marleau. Might have been better to go back out that other side. Marleau got tied up by Weber. And now Vey recovers for the Canucks. Sharks will get a defense change behind the play, and now they get a forward change too. Stretch pass intended for Vey, and ends up on Vlasic's stick, trying to bank it for Pavelski. That'll be icing.
Well, the boards are significantly different here in Vancouver than in Calgary last night. We saw that on the play.
Coming up tonight at 10:30 on Sportsnet Central on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. Kelly Johnson and Fallon Smith in the big chairs. They'll have dressing room reaction from here in Vancouver. The Warriors getting set for that showdown with Atlanta. That'll be a good one. And the Coaching Core Game Changer Awards preview. All that tonight at 10:30.
It's the one thing, the Sharks not having a morning skate. They didn't get a chance to work the boards here. I know the veterans have done it in the past. Some of the guys were doing it a little bit in warm-up, but boards last night, much livelier than tonight.
Carlson and now Pavelski. Sharks up 1-0 as Hamhuis intercepts but doesn't get it out. Burns to the net. They score. Melker Karlsson with the tip. It's 2-0.
Well, but Nino tried to do it, didn't work because of a great save. Couture, the following shift, tipped one wide. Miller never saw it. That's a poor clear there from Dan Hamhuis. And Brent Burns, just a perfect shot. He knew exactly where Melker Karlsson was. Karlsson reads it. Look at the release here from Burns. One step, boom, gets the release. Melker Karlsson, 2 hands on a stick, tips it home. And Sharks with a 2-0 lead. And Melker Karlsson just continues to play fantastic hockey and contribute offensively.
9th goal of the season for Karlsson, 14th point in just his 24th NHL game.
Brent Burns talking to him last night at the pregame show. He said he gets a lot of his points from right there, right around the blue line. He said sometimes people think that he's in pinching or joining the rush, but it's that wrist shot. It's such a quick release. He got the puck, he changed the angle about 3-4 feet, quick, hard release. He doesn't need to take a slap shot. His slap shots, you're not going to be able to tip it. You're not going to be able to see it. That was like the perfect velocity and position. A great tip by Karlsson.
Well, that failed clear by the Canucks cost them. Brent Burns, who intercepted it, gets the only assist on Karlsson's 9th of the year.
Hamhuis is a veteran, and that's a poor turnover in the defensive zone that cost his team.
So now Vancouver continuing at their struggles at home. It ought to be noted as well, Sharks led after the first period. When the Canucks trail after 1 this year, they're 2-10-1. They just have not been able to come back very often from a first period deficit. Now they're down by 2 here in the second.
They scored that first goal in San Jose, and then they went into just shutdown mode.
Shot from the point. Shepard got a piece of it, and that slowed it down for Miller to cover up. But the Sharks super sweet Melker Karlsson with the goal. 2-0. 24-year-old Melker Karlsson gives the Sharks a 2-0 lead.
Well, here's some kudos to the scouts and hockey operations for finding and signing this phenomenal player. I mean, what boost he has been to this team. He's playing in a top 6 role, deservedly so. And look at those numbers. 24 games, 9 goals, 5 assists. These are goals. He's going to the dirty areas. He looks like Joe Pavelski in some regards.
And 5 of those 9 on the road.
Yeah, I love it. And I like the way he plays away from the game. I mean, time and time again, we're talking about plays. You know, it breaks. It's like, he did this, he did that. I mean, this kid knows how to play the game.
Karlsson with the goal, but Brent Burns with that assist, our Ram shot of the game.
You know, you get to training camp and there's so much speculation about young prospects, and there wasn't a whole lot of talk about Melker Karlsson this year.
It was all about Mirko Mueller, really.
Yeah, and he has just stepped up, got comfortable, went to Worcester, played some good hockey, and since his arrival here in San Jose, he's just fit to play in the NHL level. His hockey sense is well above average, and he's just reading and reacting so well with Thornton and Pavelski.
He's listed at 6 feet 180, but he plays bigger than that for me. Here's a steal for Hansen for the Canucks, and he tried to catch Niemi off his line, couldn't. Pass back through to the front. Going to be a penalty to Barclay Goodrow here, as he had hold of Chris Higgins' stick, and the Canucks are going to get a power play. They're going to call it hooking.
We'll listen to the call. We already know what the call is, but now for fun, we'll listen to it.
San Jose 89, minor penalty, hooking.
Listen to it, we did, and this is
Barking that out was referee Ian Walsh.
we heard it, and there's a nasty gash under his left eye from taking a puck in the face. Now he's sitting in the penalty box, so Barclay Goodrow forced to grind it out here tonight in Vancouver.
7:44 time of the hooking minor to Goodrow, and now the Canucks are back on the power play for just the second time tonight. 1 shot on their first go round. The Sedin's out there to start it. Daniel to Henrik to Edler, and he wanted Daniel back in the slot, and it got by him, and Pavelski's able to slap it back to the blue line.
Vancouver penalty kill. As far as special teams, penalty kill much stronger than their power play. Power play currently sitting 16th in the NHL.
Burns slapped it, and now a break for the Sharks. Here's Marleau. Daniel back defending. Marleau shoots in and hit the outside of the post. Now Daniel attacking with Vey on his right, his brother on the left. Henrik. Radim Vrbata gets it back from Alex Edler and hands it to Henrik. Down at the goal line, Daniel stuffed by Niemi. Henrik turns off the boards for Daniel to Edler. Under a minute to go on the power play as Daniel fumbles it. Now he gets it back to the goal line. Henrik dishing to Edler, and the touch pass intended for Henrik ends up on Mueller's stick, as the Canucks probably guilty there, maybe of a little overpassing.
Yeah, and that's one of the areas of concern, I think, with their power play. Too much perimeter, and they don't get enough pucks to the net, don't get enough second and third opportunities.
Burns, and that one ends up on the bench. It hit Carlson, but he's all right.
I think Marleau had a good short-handed chance. I'm not going to lie. I was kind of hoping he was going to try and maybe take Sedin. That was Daniel Sedin. When you get a forward, sometimes you try and take him one-on-one, but Sedin actually angled him pretty good inside out now that I get another look at it.
Hope you're not going to lie. We're trying to bring truth.
Yeah,
trying to bring truth here each and every night.
Well, when I first saw him do it, and you called it was Daniel Sedin back there, I'm like, got to try and beat that guy one-on-one. But he had a good inside-out angle.
Vey, and that's an opportunity for Burns to get his stick in there, and the Canuck power play can't get through the neutral zone on this attack, and it's down to a few ticks on the clock. 5 seconds left in Goodrow's minor. He's already standing up. He's eager to get back out there.
Good PK. The only scoring chance was actually the Sharks.
Cleared out again, and Goodrow has done his time. And the Sharks are 2 for 2 on the penalty kill tonight as we approach the halfway point of this game. And the Sharks with a 2-0 lead. Thornton with a steal. Tried to center it for Carlson. On second effort, gets it to Irwin. He'll lob it in. Thornton there again. Hamhuis trying to get it out. Tennyson holds the zone. Now off Carlson's skate from Thornton. And the Canucks regroup.
Carlson didn't expect that pass. He was going to the front of the net.
This is Kennens. Back to the blue line and blocked in front by Irwin. Pavelski delays. And it's back to Lucas Pisa for Vancouver. Here's a break. And Vlasic. Good job there on Bo Horvat. Back to Spisa. His shot and a glove save for Niemi and no rebound. The Canucks with a push, but they're down by a couple. We'll be back in Vancouver.
The defensive mastery of Marc-Edouard Vlasic. That's Vlasic right there. This is a 3-on-2 for the Vancouver Canucks. They're heading down into the neutral zone, through the neutral zone. And we're going to freeze it right now. Vlasic is stick on stick, puck on puck. And what it does is it allows Marleau time. So he takes away the passing lane with perfect body stick position. Marleau comes back. And what looked like a 3-on-2 turns into nothing right there. And that was a power play 3-on-2 opportunity for the Canucks. And that guy right there took it all away with that perfect pivot, body, and stick position.
And that's our El Camino Hospital focus on winning. Defensemen have 3 points in this game. Vlasic's not one of them. Irwin with a goal. Tennyson and Burns each with assists. As the defense has been really chipping in a big way of late. Not last night in Calgary, but the game before that. Hannon scored. Tennyson scored. Burns had an assist. And your secondary scoring doesn't always have to come from forwards. You need it from your blue line as well. Here's Stanton for the Canucks and Niemi with a save. Now Weber from the Canuck defense. And a centering feed ricochets off a Shark skate to the near boards. Dorsett trying to get it deep for Horvat. Nice work by Mueller there. And now Goodrow will steer it off the skate of the linesman who was leaning up on the boards to get out of the way. The Sharks are offside here.
Well, getting back to your point, Randy, if you start to get offensive contributions from your defense, other teams know that. During the pre-scout, their coaches will talk about it. And it can force their defensive zone positioning to expand, as opposed to the two wingers, the two top forwards in the defensive zone, collapsing down low and giving you those shots. They kind of cheat out a little bit more. That creates more space in the mid to low slot area. So it adds to a whole element of strategy and how other teams defend against you.
Whistle here, and call was there. But a stoppage with 8:51 to go here in the second.
I thought last night was the one night it really stuck out that the Sharks missed Justin Braun and Tommy Wingels in that game against Calgary. You know, from a physical standpoint of Wingels, his energy, and just Braun, especially when Vlasic went down in the second period.
Saved by Miller, puck loose, and a crash play at the Vancouver net. Back the other way, Jannik Hansen against Vlasic. Can't get it out. Spisa back down to Hansen. He slows it down. Vey now near the goal line. And in front, it's Higgins. And he couldn't get it on goal. Vey. Burns leaning on him. Up for Nieto, but Hamhuis right on him. And now Burns cuts in front of Vey. And he'll fly the puck out to center looking for Couture. But it's controlled again by the Canucks. Now a turnover. Tarasov shoots. Miller the save. And Tarasov got a stick. Reaches up, drops his glove. As he got a stick in the face, and neither of the officials saw it. Tarasov drops both his gloves and his stick, and he's headed to the dressing room.
Tomas Hertl used to drop their gloves and stick on the ice.
So far he's on the bench. He was starting to walk down the hallway, but then he stopped. Taking a seat right now as play goes on in the Shark zone here. Tennyson just releasing that left arm soon enough to avoid a penalty. Tarasov's stuff is all over the ice. Stick here, glove there, stick there. I guess one stick. Glove here, glove there. Matthias wristing it in. As Tarasov continues to get worked on the Sharks bench, play goes on here in the San Jose zone. Screaming shot over the net and out of play by Daniel Sedin.
Here's Tarasov. Obviously took a high stick in the face. Not sure where. He's wearing a visor. Right there. Oh, yeah, he really got it, too.
Hamhuis
got him. That, I don't know how. Both referees missed it. And if there's blood, you could say both linesmen missed it, too. So. Welcome to the NHL moment for Daniil Tarasov. He's going to head back to the dressing room. Yeah, that's scary if it's near your eye. Like anybody can imagine. So hopefully he's going to be okay.
So Tarasov heads to the dressing room now with Sharks head trainer Ray Tufts.
Missed power play opportunity for the Sharks of the 2 or 4 minute variety, depending if there was blood or not.
Face off, and it's Burrows. Checked by Dillon. Daniel Sedin.
Not sure how the refs missed that one.
Yeah. In front, off the glove of Burrows. It's in the net, but let's see if this is going to count.
Referee Chris Rooney right away knew. You could see the Sharks responding.
Looked to me like Burrows knocked it in, didn't it?
Well, I think it went in off his glove. Just a wrap around. There it is. Yeah, that's not going to count.
No. He, in fact, batted it in with his glove. They didn't miss that. So that's not going to be a goal. They'll review it just for the sake of reviewing it, but this ought to be a very quick review.
Yeah, give him credit for trying. This is why you have reviews right here, folks.
Referees tonight are Chris Rooney and Ian Walsh, and they are conferenced with the video goal judge here in Vancouver, Malcolm Ashford, and the Situation Room in Toronto.
Good job by Brendan Dillon. Let's give him some credit tying up Burrows in the right at the top of the
play,
crease.
the call on the ice stands, no goal, was batted in with the glove. No goal.
Good call by the refs. Good call back in Toronto. Real time. And Burrows had Randy had no options there because Dillon was all over him and had him tied up and a stick up in the air.
So it stays 2-0 as Burrows, last 13 games, 2 goals.
Yeah. Scored last game, but
playing on the top line with the Twins. Got to be a little more productive than that.
He hasn't been there all year. They have had, they've used Verbata quite a bit on the top line. And
now Chris Tierney for the Sharks. Nice backhand pass to Andrew Desjardins. He'll gain the zone, play it wide of the net into the corner for James Shepard. And now deep for Tierney, but it never got to him. Bo Horvat there. Now Tierney with a steal. Tierney wrapping it around and out of the reach of both Shepard and Desjardins. That feeds the Canucks attack back the other way. Cannons and Niemi with the save.
Well, San Jose with some good positioning in the defensive zone. Sharks fourth line out here. And if you look at the nice triangle here. There's one triangle. There's another triangle. There's your third triangle right there. And just good tic-tac-toe movement. And that's an easy breakout. But it starts with good positioning and head-up play. There's Tierney. They use the same systems down in Worcester. Got everybody focused and communicating in the right spot. That's how it's done right there.
Chris in his first NHL season. Tierney tonight playing in his 16th game. He does not have a goal. Here's Logan Couture. He's got a few. And his shot there deflects up and out of play off Alex Edler's stick. 2-0 Sharks. We're coming right back to Vancouver. Coming up tomorrow at 7:30 on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area, it's the Coaching Corps Game Changer Awards presented by Levi's. This is a great event. Brings together all your favorite teams to honor the coaches that made it all possible. Featuring Bruce Bochy, Bob Melvin, Jerry West, Al Addles, Fred Biletnikoff, Tom Rathman, Chip Hale, special musical performance by the great Tim Flannery, and then a shooting contest between Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Steve Kerr. It's all tomorrow at 7:30 on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. A shot to the Vancouver Canucks saved by Miller as he got his blocker in front of it. Sharks trying to get a third goal here as Matt Tennyson's shot knocked down at the side of the net. Marleau endeavoring to work it in front for his line mate Logan Couture. Now Verbata will steer it out of trouble and up ice for Sean Matthias. Matt Irwin, he has one of the two Sharks goals tonight. For Marleau, playing in his 1300th NHL game, Patrick. Nice to see him get on the scoreboard in this one, wouldn't it? Tennyson, nice play as he reaches out, gets it away from Matthias. And now Couture deep as the Sharks will get a line change with just over 5 to go here in the second period. Weber. And now Vey for the Canucks. And again, a good stick by Dillon. That's out of play.
Now, San Jose just playing smart right now. You're on the road in back-to-back games with a 2-0 lead. This is right now, 5 minutes left in the second period. This is where game management becomes really important. And I can tell you, Todd McLellan and the coaching staff will be mentioning it to their hockey team. Keep it simple. If you don't like what you have, you eat it along the boards or get it into the neutral zone. If you're in the neutral zone, if you don't like it, hold on to it or get it deep into the offensive zone. Don't force passes through the middle of the ice.
Sharks trainer Ray Tufts is back on the bench, but Daniil Tarasov is not. So he's going to probably stay in the dressing room for at least the rest of this period, you would think. Hopefully he'll be back. Turned over to James Shepard at center. He'll slap it in. Miller out to try and slow it down, but he couldn't make contact with the puck. Tomas Hertl checked down by Clendenning. Back up to Goodrow. Now Vlasic. And he'll push it toward the net. Canucks work it out. And now Chris Higgins through the neutral zone with Hansen and Vey. Higgins shot saved by Niemi. And it's all the way out to Shepard, who's got some skating room. Sharks efficient here in the second period with a 2-0 lead.
When there has been a breakdown, Niemi's been there to make the save, and the Sharks have not given up any second or third chances all night.
Irwin, Rister, and that's wide. Carlson, he'll get it around to Joe Thornton, now to Pavelski, and back toward Thornton. Sorts it out from the point. Burns shot blocked. Ranging across is Carlson. Irwin, and reaching out with the glove is Ryan Miller.
Good offensive zone pressure there by the Sharks. Miller with a good save. At the other end, he hasn't been tested that often, but Niemi with a good save. Kicks it right out to Shepard in that situation. Veteran goalie like Niemi, he realized and felt the pressure. The Canucks had two guys in close on him, that the slot area was open. One of the Sharks is there, and that's That's called redirecting pucks, you know, creating rebounds, but redirecting them to an area where your team's going to get it. Nice heads-up play by Niemi.
There's Ronald Kennens. Ronalds. R-O-N-A-L-D-S.
I feel like there's 2 of them out there. Ronald's Kennens.
It's the plural. The plural. It's a Latvian thing. Goodrow. Trying to move the pile in the corner. He's leaning hard on Derek Dorsett, who probably doesn't like that.
It's either like both names are plural or both names are singular. Like Archer Turbe has an S. Archer Turbe.
And Dillon finally emerges with it.
Good shrink there by the Sharks. In the corner to the right of Niemi, and a good clear.
In comes Edler. To Bo Horvat to the net. Nice play by the Canucks. It just didn't go for Burrows.
Sharks kind of dodged a bullet there.
Desjardins took a hit to get that deep.
Not sure how Burrows missed it.
And Tarasov back on the Sharks bench. Great to see the rookie in his first NHL game be able to come back out of the dressing room after a little treatment and apparently good to go again. 2-0 Sharks leading. We're live here in the second. And that'll be an icing call. And back into the Canucks zone for this faceoff. There it is.
It's not, yeah, it's right under the eye. Actually, very similar spot to where Barclay Goodrow took it. Goodrow took a puck, though. That's a stick, and you can see there's some swelling already, so.
That's one you can skate right over to the ref on the next stoppage and say, look what you missed.
Those are hockey players right there, folks.
Paying the price.
Paying the price. Barely missing maybe a shift or two, and they're back out there. A couple of rookies. Hey, this is an opportunity to get ice time. You want to be out there. You don't want to be back in the dressing room.
I'm guessing we'll see that featured in the Epics episode next week on the road to the Stadium Series game on Epics.com and NHL.com. Looking forward to episode 2. Carlson, chance to get it to the net, and he draws a penalty. The shot didn't go, but the Sharks will have a power play here late in this second period.
Head coach Desjardins. I think that look says it all. Nice pass from Burns. Look at where Carlson, he finds that soft spot. That was a leg whip. Getting tripped up. Watch the leg right there.
There's 2 penalties here.
Oh.
Dan Hamhuis is off, and so is Henrik Sedin, and there was an unsportsmanlike conduct in there as well as the initial call.
And that is some frustration from the captain and ill-advised lack of discipline. What an opportunity for the Sharks. 1:44 left in the second. You got a 5-on-3. I'm going into power play greedy mode. Score 1 right away here, and then you got a chance with a 5-on-4 to take a 4-0 lead into the third period.
So Hamhuis gets the trip. Sedin unsportsmanlike, and it's Couture, Thornton, and Pavelski across the front on this 5-on-3 with Marleau and Burns on the back end.
Set play there. Sharks actually went forward off that faceoff.
Burns for Marleau now. Pavelski back to Marleau. Shoots, saved by Miller, but Burns keeps it in. Thornton takes the pass, creeps toward the net, swept away from Pavelski. He recovers. Back to Burns. In the slot, the one-timer by Couture high. Thornton back to Pavelski, and now Burns again. Pavelski missed on the one-timer. Marleau helps him out, though, gets the puck back to Pavelski, and now on to Couture.
4 instances of puck retrieval. The Sharks win the battle.
Burns back skating, flicks it over to Couture. Now Thornton. Waiting to Logan, to Burns. The shot saved by Miller.
Miller read that one-timer all the way.
Back to Burns, and on to Couture. To Thornton. Thornton to the net, wanted Marleau. That was blocked, down to 25 in the period. Burns, Pavelski, walks it in, flicks it back, Couture to Thornton, back to Couture, back to Pavelski, and they score! Joe Pavelski banks it in, and it's 3-0.
seen a lot of 5-on-3 goals, and that's the first time I've seen one pinball and ricochet in that way. After all the one-timer and good looks they had, it was a fluke goal, but they'll take it with 14.2 seconds left and a 3-0 lead. And I think it's going to be Pavelski, but could have potentially gone in off Marlowe. There's Pavelski, comes up.
Yeah, it's Nick Bonino.
Yep.
Is that Bonino who reached out?
Yep. Watch Pavelski, takes the puck up. Goes off to Bonino through the 5-hole of Marlowe and Ryan Miller. 3-0 Sharks.
And it's a power play goal for Joe Pavelski, his NHL leading 15th power play goal, 28th of the year. And the Sharks get a big 5-on-3 goal. They're still on the power play here as the Canucks finally get it clear after they were unable to do so on the 5-on-3. And that'll be it for the second period. So an ill-advised, unsportsmanlike penalty to the Canucks captain costs them dearly. And now they are in a deep hole after 2. But a strong second period for the Sharks. And after 2 periods, it's San Jose 3, Vancouver nothing. Brody and Curtis standing by in our studio with a look around the NHL on a busy Thursday. And Jamie and I will be back here to break down the highlights in a moment.
Sharks Hockey on Comcast Sportsnet California is brought to you by AT&T Pro-Am. Don't miss celebrities and pro golfers at Pebble Beach. February 9th through 15th. Get tickets at attpbgolf.com.
Welcome back to Vancouver. There's Joe Pavelski, who took the NHL lead in that second period in power play goals, scoring his 15th on the man advantage so far this season. His first regular season goal in Vancouver in a while, since March of 2010 when he scored against Roberto Luongo.
It gives Pavelski now 28 on the year. 6 goals in his last 7 games, and he continues to display tremendous hockey and lead by example.
He's certainly on pace for at least another 40-goal season. He had 41 last year. I don't know if he gets really hot, and he's hot right now. Could he take a run at 50? It's possible.
Well, the impressive thing this year is his shooting percentage is down by about 4%. Last year it was at a career high, a little over 19%. Todd McClellan alluded to that at the beginning of the season, saying, you know, we'd love Pavelski to get 41 again, but we can't expect him to continue to score at a 19% ratio. But he's at 15, and he's still on pace.
Sharks starting on a brief power play here. It's the leftover of that minor penalty for unsportsmanlike by Captain Henrik Sedin. Here's Pavelski with a steal, trying to send it to Melker Karlsson, who got to it eventually. Now Sedin out of the box. Pavelski with the puck. And wide of the net on a deflection, and Alex Edler gets it back. You know, taking another look at those highlights from the second period and that Dan Hamhuis turnover that ended up becoming the Melker Karlsson goal on Brent Burns' shot. Karlsson actually helped that turnover happen with a strong back check on Hamhuis. It kind of influenced that attempt by Hamhuis to clear the puck out of the zone, and it ended up being a half clear. Burns turned it into a goal.
Just forcing a player to rush the play, taking away their time and space. Time and again, we talk about, I mean, Melker Karlsson, this kid's for real. It's not a flash in the pan because it's the way he sees the game out there. I call him an anticipatory player, not a reactionary player.
Couture back for Karlsson. And in comes Mathias. Niemi down, has the post covered. Sean Mathias now comes out from behind the net. Takes a shot, and it goes through the crease just wide. First trouble of any kind the Sharks have had around their net in a while. But they escape danger, at least for now. And, of course, we'll expect a big push from Vancouver here in the third period as they try and battle back in this one at home. Been a tough night for home teams. This is the last game underway in the NHL. All the prior 8 are final. And in all but one of the games tonight, the home team lost. The only road team to lose was the LA Kings. They lost in Florida 3-2 in regulation.
Which is very pleasing to the ears.
For Sharks fans, for sure. Here's Bo Horvat for Vancouver. And back to Matt Tennyson. He's on the scoreboard tonight. Sharks have 3 goals. And points by 7 different players on those 3 goals. Logan Couture, multiple points. He has a pair of assists.
Second game, back-to-backs for the Sharks. You're up 3-0.
break this period down into 5-minute increments. First 5 minutes, don't give up anything. Then go from there. Do that for the next 5 minutes. Next thing you know, you got a 3-0 lead with 10 minutes left in the game. Simplify your goals. That's like two shifts of play in a 5-minute inning.
You do that in the way you break down a season, and you do it in the way you break down games and periods. Don't get ahead of yourself.
No, exactly.
Canucks.
Keeps you focused on the moment.
And Hansen for Higgins. And he pulls the trigger. Good job by Burns. Stayed with him and got his stick on that shot. And it's out of play as there's a little tussle after the whistle. Here's the frustration of the Canucks starting to show through. Well, Pepsi and the Sharks giving you a chance to win a Stadium Series VIP experience with the game coming up on Saturday the 21st. Every week, 9 lucky Sharks fans will win one of many prizes, including locker room tours, opportunities to skate on the outdoor ice at Levi's Stadium, or attend the Sharks practice, stadium jerseys, much more. Go to sjsharks.com/NHL Stadium Series for more details, and they'll also show you how to enter online.
I don't want to say it's a once-in-a-lifetime thing, but it's the only time they've ever had an outdoor game in Northern California, coming up on February 21st. So that's a great opportunity to get a behind-the-scenes tour, get on the ice. We're getting closer. It's getting exciting, isn't it? Like,
yeah, it is.
You know, it's like becoming real.
The only game of record outdoors in Northern California, well, I guess technically it would have been, yeah, it would have been Northern California. It was in Lake Tahoe in the 1960 Olympics when they played the hockey up on the mountain.
Correct. We'll give you that.
It bounces to the far side in front of the Sharks bench and out of play, but certainly the first NHL game outdoors. February 21st, Sharks and LA Kings at Levi's Stadium. You may have noticed a different look here in Vancouver tonight, and that's because we have access, thanks to our friends with Rogers, of the Skycam that is on a cable system here at Rogers Arena, and it's a very unique look and just a terrific addition to our broadcast and just another way to enhance the televising of games.
The only 2 buildings that have it are here in Vancouver and in Toronto. Very cool. It's similar technology you see the NFL uses.
And it'll be in place, or a similar one will be in place for the Stadium Series game, we're told, at Levi's Stadium on the 21st. Here's a break for the Canucks. And a save off for Bada by Niemi to keep it scoreless for the Canucks. And Antti Niemi, when called upon in this game, and it hasn't been with frequency, has come through.
And Vrbata leads the Canucks with 19 goals. Next up on the list has 11. He just gets the puck and gets it out in front of him, beats Irwin, and then what a right pad stack there. Pad save there by Antti Niemi. There's a good play by Vrbata. And he tries to deke to his backhand. No can do. Best save of the night right there by Antti Niemi.
Vrbata has got 3 points in his last 3 games. He's 1 away from another 20-goal season and 3 points away from 500 career. But Vrbata denied there by Antti Niemi. Todd McClellan has this line of, Desjardins, Tierney, and Tarasov back out on the ice. Vlasic with a shot. Off a skate to Desjardins.
You say sometimes, Randy, it's not how many saves you make, it's when you make them.
And Burns shot tipped in for Chris Tierney's first NHL goal.
Well, 4-0 Sharks, and if Tierney gets credit for this, congratulations, his first NHL goal. And Burns with the release. There's the pass. There's Tierney coming out in front of Hamhuis, and he gets his stick on it. Great job by Tierney. There's the pass, D-to-D pass. Look at Burns. Look at the presence of mind Burns, waiting for Tierney to establish body position in front of Hamhuis. And Tierney gets his first NHL goal, a night he'll remember. Tarasov's first game, Tierney's first goal. Good stuff. 4-0 Sharks.
Burns and Vlasic the assist on the first NHL goal for Chris Tierney. And the Sharks with goals in all 3 periods, continuing to come at the Canucks here at Rogers Arena. Now Hansen to center for the Canucks into Sharks territory, and he can't get past Mueller. So Chris Tierney playing in his 16th NHL game with the goal. Well, congratulations to the Sharks' second-round draft pick, 20-year-old Chris Tierney. What a thrill for him tonight. And no doubt his family in Ontario watching as well. I'm sure enjoying this moment. Such a long path to the NHL. Getting to play the first game, so momentous, and then getting that first goal, awfully special as well, as you can attest to, Jamie.
You know, those games in Worcester have helped him. He's playing in all situations, getting key minutes. You get confidence. There's a little more time and space down there. He's got great presence out there. He's got very good habits for a young player. You know, he's playing in London. Dale Hunter, great hockey sense. Got a really bright future ahead of him. And tonight he gets his first NHL goal. Boy, that quiets things down here at Rogers Arena.
Henrik Sedin over to Stanton. And back across to Clendenning.
This game reminds me of the first game for Vancouver after the All-Star break. They got shut out 4-0 here against the Anaheim Ducks, and they didn't play very well. Anaheim outplayed them all night long, got 4 goals.
Here's Rabada trying to get it to the net. Cannot. Hurdle, with help from Goodrow, comes to center. Hurdle trying to make a play, and unsuccessfully as Bonino cleared it out. Now back to Spisa with both teams changing on the fly. His pass for Kennan's out of his reach. That'll be icing against the Canucks.
Well, Mr. Chris Tierney, your first NHL goal in Vancouver. There's the D-to-D pass. There's Burns waiting. And if you look at his stick, he closes his blade to knock it down. There's no chance for Miller. That eludes him. Miller could have maybe come out a little further, but he stays a little deeper in his nets, kind of like Curtis Joseph used to. Gives him an extra split second to react, but can't react when it gets tipped like that.
Here's Tierney back out there. Turns, gives it for Tarasov. Far side pass for Desjardins. Nice playmaking there. They just couldn't get that finish.
Spisa was all over Desjardins. Just forced him to hesitate getting a kick on the ice.
Now here's Tarasov again. Comes out of the corner. Tried to flick a shot that was blocked by Bonino. 13.5 to go here in the third, and the Sharks up 4-0.
Sharks in a span of 4 and 6, 5 and 8. 6 and 10 games. I mean, it just keeps going. They play every other night. So this comfortable lead here in the third period really allows Todd McLellan, the coaching staff, to distribute the ice time, which can pay dividends in the upcoming games.
In fact, they won't get a break of any kind until after the Stadium Series game, which is on a Saturday, and then they'll be off till the following Thursday. But other than that, it's every other day as Niemi fights off the hard shot from Edler. Now Bo Horvat behind the net. He's shadowed by Irwin, sends it back to the point. Here's Edler trying to catch the pass. Canucks trying to get on the board here. Here's Edler, walks it in, passes across, and it's blocked by Dillon. He'll release from the pile and chip it clear.
Good defensive play by Dillon, breaking up the pass, having the presence of mind to hunt down that puck, chip it out, and allow everybody to change.
Bay for Hansen. Now wide for Higgins. Moving in on Mueller, gets stick position. Mueller reaching in there, staying away from penalty trouble. Just good, strong defensive technique. As Bay now watched by Shepard to Higgins, but his backhand is high and wide. Rims around for Stanton. He'll punch it deep. Good shift here for this line. Higgins across. Wanted Hansen. Here's Clendenning. And Dillon breaks it up. Hurdle trying to dig it out to the net. Pinballing around off skates. Brendan Dillon wants Goodrow on the board. Finds him. And it's kept in by Hansen. He'll load up. A pass instead. Higgins shot saved by Niemi. And the rebound cleared. Antti Niemi. Great reaction save. Here's Stanton as the Canucks keep it in. This has been their biggest push arguably all night. Hansen all the way up to the point. Down into the slot. Higgins on the right side. Here's Clendenning. He'll back away. Stanton being watched up top by Goodrow. Back to Clendenning. Niemi with the save and no rebound. 20-year-old Chris Tierney, his first NHL goal. Now the Canucks have been coming on here in the third period, Jamie, but Antti Niemi's been solid.
Nice little redirect pass, and that is a great save there by Antti Niemi. We're going to see another look. Hansen fakes the pass. There's the redirect.
And Niemi, look at it, he kind of moving, just kind of sliding back to his right, had to lean to his left. Torsionist there, and somehow made that save. Keeps the score 4-0. Shots 31-26.
Niemi's won 3 of his last 4 starts. He had 31 saves in that win over Chicago 2-0. And then 36 in the shootout loss to Edmonton in the last game of the homestand.
He dueled some good goaltenders in the wins over LA, Anaheim, and Chicago.
And here he is again, covering up a puck at the San Jose net with 11:20 left to go in the third period.
And you remarked at the end of the game against Chicago, you thought that was maybe his best game this season and one of his better games as a San Jose Shark. He played absolutely tremendous against his old team. Take a look at Alex Stalock. He was in the nets last night against Calgary.
By the way, for fans who watched that telecast, we were commenting how the Blackhawks after that game went to Vegas to watch the Super Bowl, and you commented on how it would be imperative for them to win their next game.
You want to, yeah.
After going to Vegas for the Super Bowl, they did not. They lost in Minnesota.
Got shut out, so they basically sandwiched their Vegas trip with 2 shutouts.
Canucks with 6 shots in this third period to just 1 for the Sharks. As Nick Bonino, who was on the wrong end of the Pavelski goal, he technically put it in. Stands in against Joe Thornton here, wins the draw, and now Pavelski will clear it to the point but not out. Hamhuis out of his glove. It hits Pavelski as he tried to get it to the net. Hamhuis. Spisa from the blue line deflects off Pavelski into the corner. Brent Burns with a 2-assist night. Both deflected goals, and there's a shot just wide by Bonino, and a penalty coming up to Brent Burns. No, it's going to be against the Canucks. Oh boy, it looked like he was going the other way, and Radim Vrbata thought it was too.
I'm going to assume it's an embellishment penalty?
I think so, probably against him. Sharks have Niemi out for some bonus time here, but it'll be Spisa to settle the puck. And now we'll get the call, and let's listen to referee Ian Walsh, who I believe will be the man making.
Look at him, he's go. And Vrbata was he turned his back to Vrbata.
Here's the call.
Vancouver 17, goaltender interference.
No, goalie interference. There's a look. That's a tough call.
Contact was in the white, and he had a guy on him. I don't like it. Canucks, by the way, they've had, in the last 2 games, they've had a goal scored actually be disallowed because of incidental contact with the goaltenders.
Sharks on a power play. They're 4th of the night. They're 1 for 3. The crowd here voicing their displeasure with the call, too.
I think rightfully so. I didn't like that call.
9:37, time of the goaltender interference penalty to Vrbata.
Now, that said, at this juncture of the game where the score is, you know, maybe the referee's thinking he doesn't want contact with the goalies.
Here's Matthias. He's got Stanton with him, and Niemi fights off a quality chance for Matthias on the wing. Now he's got it in front of the net, and Nieto is able to steer it clear of trouble. Burns pursued by Hansen. Hands it off to Vlasic. He'll have to hurry. And the Sharks on a line change have to be careful there without getting too many men on. Pavelski to Thornton. Joe shoots into the block by Hamhuis. Now at the goal line, Marleau across. Irwin shot saved by Miller.
Boy, Miller gets across that crease quickly.
Hamhuis will blast it down.
Another observation is Thornton gets that puck in the slot. He looks at all options before deciding to shoot.
And he does it in like a nanosecond.
He processes quick out there.
Irwin's going to take this puck and give it to Tennyson.
Best way to think about how Joe Thornton sees the game. If everything was going 65 miles an hour, if you're on a highway, everyone's going 65 miles an hour. He's passing you, but he's only going 45 miles an hour. Everything seems slower to Joe Thornton. I mean, he just picks up where all other 9 guys are.
On the entry, it is Shepard to Pavelski. And the Canucks will clear. It's wristed down by Hamhuis. Niemi hands it off to Mirko Mueller.
5 seconds.
Isn't that a trait of all the great athletes in all sports, whether it's a great hitter, you know, the great quarterbacks, Joe Montana, Tom Brady, they just, everything is in slow motion for them. Michael Jordan.
Even when guys who you wouldn't consider to be great hitters get into a streak where they're hitting the ball well, they see the seams of a fastball
Great
coming at them.
announcers. The great announcers. The game, to me, is much faster than it is to you.
There you go. Weber. I'm going to have to process that myself later and figure it out. The referee set a pick there. The fans are really getting on the officials here now, as we'll get the icing call with 7:53 to go. And I want to remind you, as soon as this one comes to its conclusion in Vancouver, we have more. Esurance post-game live. Brody Brazil, Curtis Brown, Kevin Kurz. They, at this moment, are all huddling. And they are discussing how they're going to break this game down with the Sharks up 4-0. And they're also huddling on how to introduce Brett Hedican into the conversation. He will join in from here in Vancouver. All four of them on Sharks post-game live. It's the big show tonight.
Always more enjoyable to break it down after a win, especially a big one on the road against a division rival that you're fighting for playoff position.
This one's not quite in the bag yet,
No.
but the Sharks are in good shape. Edler for Verbata. Back to the front of the net. Edler couldn't get a stick out. Then he hits the deck, getting a shove from Tennyson behind the play as the puck goes into Vancouver territory. Quickly transitioned up to Radim Verbata. He'll fire it ahead. And a shot saved by Niemi as Bonino is robbed. And Nick Bonino with Vancouver's best scoring chance of the period. It's still 4-0.
Well, Antti Niemi has been stellar tonight. He didn't get a lot of look early in the game, but there's a quick reflex right pad save. That was a great save right there off that tip. Good rebound control there, and might have been his best save of the night, that Verbata breakaway. Good reaction save right there. He's been doing it he's used everything. Glove, blocker, pads, chest protector, everything but that helmet.
The former part-time Zamboni driver in Vantaa, Finland, and now a Stanley Cup champion, had himself a fine game here tonight in Vancouver. 31 saves and counting as we're down to 7:10 here in the third period. Probably some folks up in Vantaa tonight watching.
I think so, right?
Yeah, they'll stick around for the finish of this game.
Somebody's wearing their punny hat tonight, folks.
Face-off coming here in the
Let
Canucks
it
zone.
sink in, absorb it, enjoy it.
Sharks dominant in the third period here, Jamie, in a department that you were dominant in your career, face-offs. They've won 10 of 13 face-offs here in the third.
It's been a good night for the San Jose Sharks here on the road.
Classic. Marlowe reaching back, and he's stopped by Miller. Now Couture. Nieto, and he pulls the trigger. Bang, bang play just went wide. Marlowe in the corner. Chips for Nieto. Clendenning trying to slow him down. Bay, and that's out to Higgins. Gives it away. Here's Nieto, and Miller robs him with the glove.
Another defensive zone turnover by the Canucks, and Miller just robs Matt Nieto. We like to call that an ill-advised pass. Nieto, he could have thrown it backdoor. Logan Couture was going backdoor there, was getting ready to put his stick on the ice. He'd take that shot, though. Yeah, the old soft backhand pass through the slot area to the opposition. Not exactly what you want. I don't care what the score is.
Kennons now for Vancouver, and that's pushed back out. One distinction that Niemi, while we're talking about Nemo, will also always enjoy the first Finnish goaltender to ever win the Stanley Cup. Former Shark Mika Kiprusoff got to the finals with Calgary, but they lost to Tampa.
Game 7. Dan Doyle, ex-Shark, won the cup.
And then, of course, after Niemi won it, Tuukka Rask won it for Boston. But Nemo's the first. And we've got a penalty here to the Sharks. Vancouver will have a power play, and a derisive cheer comes out from the crowd here at Rogers Arena. Back in Vancouver in a moment. And here it is time for our Toyota game summary. Been a good night for the San Jose Sharks. Got on the board first from a BC native, Matt Irwin with the slap shot, his 4th of the year in the first period. Then in the second, Brent Burns will shoot it. Melker Karlsson will tip it for his 9th. 2-0. Then a 5-on-3 and a little luck. Nick Bonino's stick puts it in past his own goalie. Pavelski gets credit, his 28th, and then the first NHL goal for 20-year-old Chris Tierney on the feed from Burns. And Antiniemi's been perfect so far, 31 saves, but he'll be tested now with Vancouver on a power play on a hooking penalty to Melker Karlsson at 14:09. Here's the Canucks power play as they try and get to Niemi here in this 3rd period. Pavelski with a steal, and he'll get the first clear. Marleau can't keep it back there as long as he can.
Great job. It's a 1-on-3. Got up ice. Shut down the opportunity for Edler to get the puck and move it up ice.
3rd power play of the game for the Canucks. Henrik. And that went nowhere.
Vlasic, like a surgeon there, breaking up that play with his stick. Another wily veteran poke check move.
Refs are really getting it from the fans here tonight, but you know, this is the Canucks' 3rd power play. The Sharks have had 4, and that's only because of the 5-on-3 when Henrik got that extra minor for unsportsmanlike. You take that out of it, it's even up.
I don't think they like that 5-on-3, but it was a penalty on, it was a good call.
And we're not exactly sure what Sedin said, but obviously he said the magic word. And he must have said it in English.
Usually you give a guy with that type of experience, a captain, a bit of a warning, and referees probably did.
Cam Hughes comes up ice. Half a minute to go on this Vancouver power play. A little toe drag try by Vey doesn't work.
Poke check by Matt Irwin. Good to see him score tonight in front of all the family and friends here. Like I said, 25, 26 in total.
Clendening, and that's hard off the corner glass to Higgins. Checked by Tennyson. And now Irwin releasing from the front. Nice knockdown by Vey, and now a chance to make a play. Lyndon Vey draws it back, plays it behind the net to Bonino. Clendening, a slap shot, and Niemi reaches out through the traffic and grabs that and holds. And that's it for the power play. Sharks a perfect 3 for 3 on the PK tonight.
Good save by Niemi. He's been playing some good hockey of late. And a nice look there by Niemi. Coming out, challenging, good glove save, gets a whistle. You want to do that whenever you just finish a penalty kill. If you can get a face-off, you can get the puck deep into the offensive zone, but a face-off's even better. That way you can get 5 fresh guys out there. Get the line combos back in order.
Burns.
I've liked Burns' game tonight a lot. Not just the 2 assists either. He's been strong in the defensive zone.
Tierney shoots, save, and the rebound cleared by Spisa, but not out. Burns a shot, Miller again. Horvat will bank it up through center, but Burns is there defensively for the Sharks. We're down to 3:15, and this 4th line with a good shift, and now they'll change them up.
Well, congrats again to Daniil Tarasov, his first NHL game. He's had a strong game. A stick in the face, should have drawn a penalty. Fans aren't complaining about that, are they? That would have been 4 minutes.
Vey tied up by Dillon. Now Hansen in front for Matthias. Niemi the first save, rebound. Now to the corner, it's Hansen. Matthias on his backhand, wheels around and gets a second try, and it floats over the net out of the reach of Niemi. And Goodrow gets the backhand clear, and it'll slow down, no icing with 2.5 to go.
Well, pretty much academic now. San Jose just rolling the lines.
And that'll be an icing against the Canucks. 2:29 remaining here in the 3rd, and Saturday the Sharks are right back home to start a 3-game homestand. It's a Saturday night on ice for us as the Sharks face the Carolina Hurricanes. Watch every week for your chance to win a different collector's edition poster. We'll have Sharks pregame live at 7 here, and then all the action at 7:30 on Comcast Sportsnet California. That starts 3 in a row at home. Carolina on Saturday. Then on Monday, it's Calgary again. And then next Wednesday, Alex Ovechkin and the Washington Capitals. This is Matt Nieto. His shot blocked in front by Edler.
And if you remember, the Sharks beat the Carolina Hurricanes earlier this year, and an absolutely incredible performance by Troy Grosenick, his first NHL game, a shutout.
1-0.
Stole that game.
Tomas Hertl had the only goal that afternoon in North Carolina. Vrbata scores! Well, there won't be a shutout for Antti Niemi tonight as Radim Vrbata gets his 20th of the year.
That's a bullet, but it's from pretty far out. There's no one in front of the net. There's the initial pass from the top of the circle. Niemi'd love to have that one back. Don't get me wrong, that's a great shot. Well, we're going to get a nice look here. Vrbata, he just teased that at us. Here's how a goalie has to save that. Niemi's just got to come out a little bit further. He was off his angle a little bit. He was a little bit to the left. Not by much, but enough against a sniper like Radim Vrbata. He gets his 20th. Takes away the shutout, but won't change the outcome here tonight at Rogers Arena.
Down to 150 now, and it's 4-1. Horvat around Vlasic, turns, wants Stanton, but it's broken up. Tarasov for the Sharks, and he'll flip it in wide of the Vancouver net. We're down to a minute and a half. Stanton gets the only assist on Vrbata's 20th at 18:03. So the Sharks will get a split on this road trip. Disappointing outcome last night, but much, much better here tonight. Thornton across, Pavelski saved by Miller, and he'll cover it up with 1:10 left.
Well, Niemi wins the goalie duel between Ryan Miller tonight. Would have liked to see him get a shutout. He'll take the win, get the 2 points, and head home. Sharks are going to split on this Western Canadian road trip.
Higgins. And Mirko Mueller is going to get that out of his glove. And back up the ice as we will see these Vancouver Canucks again back here on March the 3rd. And then in San Jose, the very next game, March 7th. That's out of play. 42.6 left to go here in the third period on a night when the San Jose Sharks get goals from 4 different scorers. The defense chips in a big way. Matt Irwin with a goal. Brent Burns with 2 assists. Tennyson with an assist. Vlasic with an assist. The blue line continuing to come through in a big way. And if this score holds right now, Carlson is going to end up with the game winner tonight on that tip from the Brent Burns shot.
That'll be his second game winner of the season and of his career.
Clendening's shot is blocked by Tarasov. And now Tierney with Desjardins. Chris Tierney turns, feeds Desjardins. He got the blade of his stick on it. Back for Tierney. In front, Tarasov. Under 20 to go. Tarasov fires one directed by Desjardins wide and cleared by Hansen to center ice. Here's Tierney up the middle. For Desjardins, he scores! Andrew Desjardins, top corner. The fourth line gets a goal. It's 5-1.
Yeah, good for Andrew Desjardins. I'd like to see it. Doesn't change the outcome of the game, but fourth liners working hard. Right to the last drop here, and Tierney, draws the D over. Nice little behind the back pass. So Tierney's going to walk away tonight with a goal and an assist, and he's going to be +2. Nice shot by Desjardins, far side top corner. Little exclamation point for the San Jose Sharks here tonight.
Yannick Weber with one more shot, and that is it. And the San Jose Sharks, on the second game of back-to-backs, play one of their more complete 60-minute hockey games on the road in some time. A very impressive victory here against the Canucks in Vancouver as they win it 5-1. Final score here in Vancouver, the Sharks 5, the Canucks 1. Sharks post-game live starts right now.